How you doing, Coach?
Good. How are you?
Good. Obviously, last time we talked to you, there's been a lot more cancellations with COVID. Just from your standpoint as a head coach, how nerve wracking is that? Just seem like we're almost back in the same boat we were a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. When I saw it coming, you could just see this was going to happen. And, it's not, when you look at the numbers even today, as I'm looking at them, the South, with the exception of Florida, has not been really annihilated yet, like some of the Northeastern states and cities. And eventually it's going to get here and probably to Starkville as everybody returns to campus in the middle of the month. And we're hoping that we'll have, the vast majority of our guys at least with boosters. So, everybody's trying to do their best, and, there's only so much you can do in the current climate. But, we're trying to, preach to our guys to, safe distance. And basically most of our team has their own apartment. And I set that up a year ago, just so in case, we did go through this again, that they would not be sharing apartments with one another where, you're going to get multiple guys sick if one does get sick. But, we'll just see. It's really tough. I mean, you're right. There's a lot of cancellations, a lot of teams being affected throughout the country.
Another quick question along those lines, not so much COVID related, but how is your team health wise, and any updates on Rocket or Tolu?
Tolu's practiced the last few days, as has Rocket. So they're both back out there, and both have done a good job. Tolu's definitely had some soreness in his feet after the practices, but he's got it out. I think he's much better than he was prior to when we shut him down 3 weeks ago. Today.
Andy, go ahead.
Hey, Ben, just kind of jumping off that point, are Tolu and Rocket kind of in play, I guess, for the Arkansas game, or maybe is it too soon for them to be right back in action?
You know what? I mean, that'll be a day-by-day thing. We'll see.
And then now you're entering SEC play. Just what's, I guess, the message, I guess, to your team after, I know you mentioned that you can still make kind of a push here in SEC play is kind of the pivotal mark. I mean, what's kind of the message you make before entering conference play?
Well, yeah, I mean, this is the critical part to our season every year is SEC play. It's a whole new season. We're 9-3 in the non-conference. We have one more non-conference game, as you know, against Texas Tech in the middle of our conference season. But, we're right there. I mean, we're 41 in the net and, like 42 in Ken Palm. And, so we're right there, we're, in a good position if we can, play well during the conference to put ourselves in an opportunity to play in postseason and get in the NCAAs, which is our goal.
John Sokoloff, go ahead for a couple.
What's up, Ben?
Hi,
Hope
John.
you had a good holiday, man. Was just going to ask, I mean, you guys are riding that 3-game winning streak heading into conference play. What did you kind of learn about your team in those 3 victories, and where do you kind of think that you guys are at heading into it?
Well, I think we're in a good spot. Our guys had a good 3-day break for Christmas, which was important. We actually practiced on Christmas night, and that's never a great practice after you've been off for 3 days. But I think it helped us for yesterday, and we did, lifting and shooting, and then also a practice yesterday, and same thing today. So we're basically doing 2-a-days, yesterday and today, and that we'll have a practice this afternoon coming back from shooting and lifting this morning. But it's been good. I think we're getting our conditioning back to where it needs to be. We've done a lot of up and down the last 2 days, and I'm excited for us to start conference play. And the whole key for us and everybody else in our conference is to try to stay healthy.
Sure. And Arkansas, I mean, that's a team that's kind of really developed this insane culture.
John, I'm not hearing you now. We're having a technical difficulty.
How about right now? You got me?
It's still
John, we'll come back to you. Let's go to Steph next. Steph, go ahead.
I think I was going to ask along the lines of what John was going to ask, but kind of just where have you seen, Arkansas develop as a program? I think they're unranked right now, but, what do they kind of bring into this matchup?
Well, they're a really good team. They're very talented. I mean, I love Anote, who was is their starting point guard and was the sixth man of the year last year in the SEC. He's a very good player, averages 18 points a game, really streaky, played well against us. And, the kid, Devontae Davis, who started the last 13 games for him as a freshman last year and played well all the way through their Elite Eight run, is really a good player and a potential pro down the road. They've added some good pieces as well from the transfer portal. Number one, Chris Likes from Miami, second leading scorer, leads them in free throws attempted. He's about 5'9", just really, really good at getting to the rim, can shoot the three. I think he has like 1,680 points or something in his college career. Really a good scorer and player. The transfer from Pitt, Tony, is an excellent offensive rebounder, scorer, banger. Both those guys make them older because they're both, veteran guys. And then they still have Jalen Williams and Vanover back, who have a lot of experience from last year's team up front. Williams, I think, is going to be a really good player. And Vanover presents problems just because of his length and his size. And he played well against us down there. He had 13 points in our matchup a year ago. So they have good players. They're well coached.
Just to follow up on what you were saying about Rocket earlier, in Jackson, I think you said he had some swelling in that capsule. You guys gave him a cortisone shot, and I know you talked to that doctor. Is that something you think could come up, throughout the season, or are you hoping that's kind of out of the way for now?
Yeah, I'm hoping it's out of the way, but I'm no doctor. So I hope for his sake he's not dealing with that long term. And he's done well in terms of his moving and conditioning here the last couple of days of practice. So hopefully that, continues for him.
We'll go back to Andy. Andy, go ahead.
I asked Mike Leach about this the other day, so this is a non-basketball question. What'd you get for Christmas? Was there any a big gift that you got, something that you enjoy? I mean, he got a replica Colt 45, just about the most interesting thing anyone can get for Christmas. I don't know if you could match that.
I cannot. In fact, my wife and daughter always ask me, "What do you want? What do you want?" I never want anything. But then, really, it's been 5 years. My phone was so beat up. So we went and got me a new iPhone. So I now have a new iPhone that actually works. It's a little big. I don't like the size of it. They've gotten a little bigger from 5 years ago, but I didn't want the mini one either. It was a little small. So I went with the bigger one, and that was my biggest gift. They always get me something nice. I got, some different clothes and got a really nice photo of me with my 3 grandsons and hang up in my office. It's really cool. And my daughter always gets me some really nice, clothing stuff that I enjoy. And so, yeah, it's all good. We had a good Christmas.
Good stuff.
Back to Steph to wrap it up.
Yeah, Ben, I was going to ask if you got a chance to catch some of those NBA Christmas games, if you saw Quindary Weatherspoon kind of put on a bit of a show there for the Warriors.
I was so happy for Q. I didn't get to watch it because we were practicing during their game, but I got a chance to, they had a really good, someone sent us a post-game interview with Steph Curry, who was really complimenting Q. And then I know Coach Kerr said some really nice things about his defense. And I was just happy for Q because here's a kid, no one deserves it more than he does to have success. He's worked so hard. He's such a great kid, such a team guy. I saw some of the highlights and was just thrilled for him because I have no doubt he can play in the NBA. And hopefully some of those other teams that were watching that game, some of those GMs and scouts are saying, yeah, he belongs. And, I hope it works out for him in Golden State because I think it's an incredibly well-run organization, well-coached. The unselfishness, the understanding of how to play the right way, the sharing of the ball, all of it is, the best in the NBA. And they have a great culture there. So he fits into that culture really well, and I'm just happy for him. Reggie Perry was actually called up a week ago to Atlanta and couldn't go because he had COVID. He had a 40-point game in a G League game in the last 10 days.
Yeah, some of those NBA teams might be calling you, asking for you to give them some players with the way their rates are going right now.
They can't have them. They got to go through the process being drafted.